Welcome to The Hidden Self. My name's Chris, and this is the third video in our series, A Journey into Our Soul. Today we're going to talk about spirit. Now, to some of you, spirit might have a religious connotation. We don't want to change that. In fact, what we want to do is introduce ideas and concepts that actually complement your existing belief structure. So, in our previous video, we talked about energy. And the concepts that I really want to press upon is that energy is a carrier force, and within that carrier force, certain electrical pulses travel through that carrier force that have information contained within those charges that can be used by different receivers. And the example that we used was a radio station transmitting and a radio player picking up those transmissions and being able to use those and transferring those into a physical form we call sound. So today we're going to dive a little bit deeper and really understand what this means about this relationship between a transmission and a receiver. Because what's actually happening is that we are seeing the creation of something from nothing. If you think about pure energy or radio frequency as pure energy, it's weightless, it has absolutely no mass whatsoever. All it is different vibrations. What we're now doing is we're using a radio to generate sound. We are generating sound from nothing. Now, a lot of us have a hard time believing that you can produce something from nothing, and it happens constantly. All physical matter that exists within the universe has been created as a result of energy waves clashing together and forming physical forms or physical particles that all of us are made up of. So this process is what I want to drill down in relation to how our spirit is created. Now, I'll ask you a question. Is our spirit a collection of our existing experiences, or is our spirit a collection of previous and current experiences that then get contained and stored in a memory with our own mind? So really, a spirit could be a collection of experiences and memories that is stored within our mind. And it would be no different to like a USB. Within this USB, let's say I've got a video of a wedding on this USB. I could slice open this USB and I could have a microscope and look at the drive on this USB, and I would never find the video. All I would see is just a raw disk. I need something to take this transmission and I need to turn it into a video that I recognise as the wedding that I videoed. And so our stored memories, our stored experiences of life is exactly that. So for the sake of argument, let's say that our spirit is stored in our mind. Unlike the USB, our mind is a living thing. So it's constantly vibrating. Our mind is constantly generating and creating different thoughts, different images, self-talk. And how we then experience the world and how we then translate those experiences into different meanings is like a collection, and we're now starting to add. So think about this. If we start to store our experiences, then it matters what type of experience that we actually add to that stack. If I'm adding resentful, angry thoughts on a consistent basis, that's a different energy profile, a different energy charge to experiences where I feel compassion and love. And so as I start to overlay and add and overlay and add all of my experiences, both from an internal perspective and an external experience in which I'm living my life by, that's actually adding to the overall frequency or the overall vibration of which I am transmitting out to myself, but to others. And that transmission, believe it or not, is generating our self-image. People who have poor self-images of themselves often have a different vibration, a different energy to somebody who has a healthy self-image of themselves, somebody who wants to give, wants to provide a better environment for people to nurture, to grow by, etc. And for those people who unfortunately want to consistently take from people, have a different energy pattern about themselves. Now, I'm not here to judge whether or not that is a good thing or bad thing. What I'm here to do, though, is to offer you some tools in which, if you are suffering from a poor self-image, or if you are suffering from depression or anxiety or frustration or resentment, there's a reason why that's happening. But understand this, that unless we actually start to change the profile of our thoughts, unless we start to change the energy in which we are creating, so our reception of our body and our self-image, because that's the end of the day, is the end result. The self-image is the end creation of both our mind's eye of who we are and how our actual body is responding, because our physiology has a massive impact about how we feel about ourselves. So physiology is a massive part in how we represent our self-image. If someone's depressed, they're not going to be like this, are they? Their energy is going to be low, and they're going to be hunched, and they're going to move slowly. Someone who's energized, positive, who's optimistic, isn't going to walk around like this. They're going to be energized, and they're going to represent that energy through their physical form. And so this video, I want to leave you with these two concepts, that we are actually creating and generating our soul on a second-by-second basis by the types of thoughts that we have. And those thoughts are then stored and overlaid and stored and put on top of all the other experiences that we have. And that overall profile then creates the physiology that we carry ourselves in, which generate our overall self-image that we get to live our life by. And if you're not having a fulfilling and rewarding life, the chances are your self-image has a low energy profile to that. And what we can do is show you how to look at things a little differently, to brighten some of the thoughts that you have, to bring in some optimism and some positive attributes into the way that you think, to then change the overall profile of your spirit, which will lift your physiology and actually will lift your self-image. Thanks for watching. And this is exactly what we'll be delving more into over the coming videos. How to instantly recognize and control where your thoughts take you, the feelings they invoke, and ultimately the actions you take as a result of those thoughts. This is where we literally define our lives. It's by the decisions and actions we take based on the thoughts and thinking we create. See you next time. Thanks very much and take care.